Hi, I'm Sarah Schick, and this is my Indigenous Studies 100 term project. For my project, I have chosen to do the Quechua people of Peru and surrounding areas. First off, I will be discussing a little bit of background information on the Quechua people, and then I will move on to a little bit about their culture, and finally, I will talk about the Spanish conquest of Peru and the effects that left on the Quechua people. The term Quechua may refer to any of the indigenous people of South America who speak the Quechua languages, which originated among the indigenous people of Peru. So basically, there are four main Quechua tribes. The Quijos Quechua are lowland Quechua of the Napo River in the Amazon located in the Loreto region. There is also the Quinolas Quechua, also lowland Quechua, but of the Tigre and the Corrientes River in the Amazon, also located in the Loreto region. The southern Pasta Quechua, lowland Quechua, are primarily living south of the Andozan and the Patsa River basin in the Amazon, located in the Loreto region. And last, the Lamaza Quechua, they are lowland Quechua living among the Haluga and the Mayo rivers in the Amazon, located in the San Martin region. The Quechua people are direct descendants of the Inca people. The Inca Empire, which existed for a century before the arrival of the Spanish, was a highly developed civilization. The Inca Empire stretched from parts of present-day Colombia in the north southward into Chile. The Incas had an impressive governing structure. The Quechua people are located in the Andean Mountains, areas of Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, northern Chile and Argentina, close to the Bolivian border, and in southern Colombia along the Ecuadorian border. There is a very large population of this group of people. Although it is not known the exact population, it is estimated to be around 7.5 million. The language spoken is Quechua, which is also known as Runasami, which translates to people's language or language of the people. This map here shows where the Quechua people live today. Some parts of Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and also Argentina. So in Quechua culture, they domesticated potatoes and cultivated thousands of potato varieties, which are still today used for food and medicine. The education in Quechua culture is that the mother is the main person responsible for the child's socialization. Until they're 1.5 years old, she carries her child behind her back and raises it while she goes about her activities. Modern Quechua people have been influenced by Spanish cultural elements that were introduced by the conquistadors, such as Christianity, domesticated animals, and farming implements. The way Quechua women dress today is rooted in traditions from pre-conquest Peru, which is a fusion of Inca and Huarar cultures, and Spanish colonial peasant dress, which is often with some modern touches. Indigenous women in the Andes dress in layers of bright, colorful traditional Andean clothing, including capes, shawls, embroidered skirts, and vibrantly colored hats. However, many women dress in modern clothing these days and wear their traditional garb for special occasions. A mantra is a Quechua word for a traditional hat, which varies in style depending on region. And you can see the mantra is in this picture right here. Who was Francisco Pizarro? Francisco Pizarro led the Spanish conquest in Peru. He wanted to colonize Peru to gain power and westernize the country. He led the conquest with a small group of Spaniards, about 160 of them, including 4 of his brothers. Who was Atahualpa? Atahualpa was the last emperor of the Incan Empire. During the Spanish conquest, he was taken hostage by Francisco Pizarro, who demanded he give him a room full of gold and silver for his release. He is best known for providing that room full of gold and silver, so Francisco would let him go, but he ended up executing him anyway. Now I will be talking about the Spanish conquest of Peru. So, the conquest of Peru was led by Francisco Pizarro in the early 1530s, and it was one of the most important events of colonization of the American continent and one of the most successful military campaigns ever. Historians believe that this was the beginning of globalization. The conquest of Peru is the historic process of the assimilation of the Inca Empire to the Spanish Empire. It represented a profound social, economic, and cultural transformation. Pizarro landed at San Mateo Bay in 1532. After traveling through desert and snow-capped mountains, Pizarro and his men arrived at Cajamarca in 1533, where they captured Atahualpa, the 13th and last emperor of the Incas. Atahualpa had just won a civil war against his half-brother and had executed his family. Atahualpa had invited Pizarro to a celebratory feast, thinking that the Spanish were not much of a threat. Pizarro ambushed Atahualpa and killed thousands of his men. Atahualpa offered a huge ransom for his own release, but Pizarro took the treasure and had Atahualpa strangled on August 29, 1533. This was the end of the Incan Empire and when the Spanish Empire took over. The decisive battle was over in a matter of hours. With Atahualpa prisoner, Pizarro was effectively in control of the Incan Empire. In 1535, Pizarro founded the city of Lima as the capital of his newly conquered territories. When Francisco Pizarro and his small band of Spanish conquistadors landed in northern Peru in AD 1532 to begin their conquest of the Inca Empire, they initiated profound changes in the culture, language, technology, economics, and demography of Western South America. After the Spanish conquest, Peru's indigenous population declined dramatically during the early period of colonization as a result of European disease epidemics. They were also subjected to religious evangelization, which is sharing of religious beliefs, usually Christianity. After the Spanish conquest, the native population of the Andes was estimated to be as low as 12 million and as high as 32 million before the arrival of the Spanish. By 1570, the population fell to about 1.3 million by the 17th century. The native population of the former Inca Empire barely reached 700,000, and the Quechua population fell to about 600,000 from 7.5 million. The conquest brought death and desolation. Most of them died due to foreign diseases that were unknowingly brought by the Spaniards. Indigenous people did not have immunity against disease such as smallpox, measles, and flu, which devastated the local population. Warfare, enslavement, and forced labor also contributed to the devastation of the population, which led to the speedy disintegration of the empire. All indigenous people lost their lands. Indigenous people became increasingly linked in popular perception to the condition of poverty and economic marginalization. The Spanish took over the Incan lands within 40 years, taking vast quantities of gold, destroying the cities, and nearly erasing an entire civilization. Much of what is known today about the Incas come from archaeologists. The Spanish conquest of Peru had a profound effect on the region's indigenous people, but a paper published in 2014 in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences reveals that it also had an unexpected impact on the land itself, saying the Spanish conquest may have altered Peru's shoreline. The Spanish accomplished their aim to spread Catholicism in Peru, with about 4/5 of the population of Peru today as Roman Catholic. Overall, the Spanish succeeded in their aim to change Peru's demographics completely. They forced the Catholic religion on the Incas, remaining the same today and keeping Spanish as the main language. Now, just to end off my video, I would like to take the time to talk about the Spanish Empire. The Spanish Empire would expand across the Caribbean islands, half of South America, most of Central America, and much of North America, including present-day Mexico, Florida, and the southwestern and Pacific coastal regions of the United States. The Spanish Empire became the foremost global power, dominating the oceans as well as European battlefields. Spain enjoyed a cultural golden age in the 16th and 17th centuries when silver and gold from American mines increasingly financed a long series of European and North African wars. Until the 18th century, the Spanish Empire was the largest in the world, although it suffered fluctuating military and economic fortunes. Confronted by the new experiences, difficulties, and suffering created by empire building, Spanish thinkers formulated some of the first modern ideas on natural law, sovereignty, international law, war, economics, even questioning the legitimacy of imperialism. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my Indigenous Studies 100 term project. I really hope that you learned something new.